Hi guys, welcome to the notes for H10-7. We're talking about sums of geometric series today. You're coming off the lesson that was a review on geometric sequences, so I put a review problem here at the beginning. If you want to go ahead and pause it and work through that, you may do so, and then we'll just check your answers. Okay, hopefully you just took the time to try to work out these problems. We're going to run through them real quick. So the review at the top here says, given the geometric sequence 6, 24, 96, and 384, write the equation for the nth term of the sequence in zeroth term form. All right, so that looks something like this. A sub n equals a sub 0 times r to the power of n, where remember our a sub 0 is the zeroth term, and r stands for our geometric ratio, which is the same thing as your multiplier. Okay, it's just a different term for it. So the answer you should have come up with here should have been a sub n equals, instead of 6 using the first term, we're going back to the 0th term. So you had to divide that 6 by 4. So you should have 3 halves, right? 6 over 4 reduces to 3 over 2 times our 4 raised to the power of n. So that is the 0th term form for that expression. And then it asks us to find the 6th number in the sequence. Okay, so you've got the first 4, so the 5th one's missing, and then the 6th one is what we would need. We know that we're just taking these and multiplying them by 4 each time to get from one term to the next. So you could just do it that way if you really wanted to, but we're trying to make sure we understand how to use the formulas that we've been coming up with, right? So we can use the formula that we just found to find that. We could say the 6th term is going to equal our 0th term times the multiplier, or the common ratio, 6 times. Okay, so our answer there, when we do that, 3 halves times 4 to the 6th, should have been 6,144. Now let's go on to a couple practice problems here. Hopefully you've done these as well. If not, go ahead and pause it and do them. It says, write the equation in first term form for the following geometric series. Okay, so these ones should be a little quicker and easier. We're still following that same form as above, but now we're looking at a sub n is going to equal, and if we change this from the 0th term to the first term, remember all it does is it changes our exponent here, because we're going to multiply times r one less time, so we need to take one away from that n up there in the exponent. So if we're just writing out this general form here, we'd say a sub n, this is for letter A. It looks like we're multiplying by 5 each time as we go from term to term. So we'll say here our first term is 2. We're going to multiply by 5 each time, and then we're going to raise that to the power of n minus 1. And that is the answer. Looking at the second one, we have 500 plus 125 plus 31.25 plus 7.8125 and so on there. Obviously, these numbers are getting smaller, which means our geometric ratio, or our multiplier, has to be a value less than 1. So when we think about it here, if we wanted to figure out what are we multiplying 500 by to get to 125, we'll just take our 125 and put it over the term before it. When we reduce that there, it looks like 125 goes into 125 once, and it goes into 500 4 times. So our common ratio, or R value, is going to equal 1/4. So we can take this and do the same thing. We'll say A sub n is going to equal our first term, 500, times 1/4 raised to the power of n minus 1. And that would be your answer for that second one. If you have questions about either of these, okay, you need to either go back and review the previous lesson or make sure you reach out to your teacher to get assistance.